Everybody, welcome to Cocktail Time. It is Sunday night. I'm sorry, Friday night. I'm getting my old schedule mixed up. It's Friday night here at 4Player Network, which means only one thing, of course. It is time to have some drinks, and it is time to talk about video games. Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Joseph Christ here at 4Player Network, and with me, as per usual, is Chris Davis. Hello, Chris.
Good evening.
And Bob Webb. How are you, Bob?
I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, God. So Bob has returned to us. He's returned to us from PAX East. And how you feeling?
I'm still on Boston time.
So you're 3 hours ahead.
Yeah.
Well, it's been 4 days.
I've been getting up at like 6 and 7, or 7 or 8 every day. So, yeah, pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been going out into the wilds and collecting ticks and snaring lizards.
And that's at PAX, right?
No.
Oh.
No. This is my last couple of days.
Oh, I thought that was happening at...
And you were paid
PAX.
to do this, right?
No. Well, I was paid in my knowledge that the world is a better place. So no.
So no.
I was not paid.
Not paid at all. Not paid at all.
No.
Man. So
I'm having a lot of trouble seeing the upside of this, Bob.
Well, the upside is that my living room was home to about 50 ticks.
that's an upside. That's an upside? That's what they call an upside now, huh?
Yeah.
God.
I got to creep people out with it, though.
Where do you keep the ticks?
Oh, they're all in vials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. You can hear them, like, because they create kind of balls. They'll all ball up. But they try to get out of the vial, so they'll crawl up to the top.
Mm-hmm.
And they can kind of sense that there's a little edge at the top. So they'll crawl up there, create a ball, and then you can hear this tunk, because this ball of ticks is just dropped to the bottom of the vial.
Oh, I see.
And they scatter and go. Normally you throw them into alcohol so they die. But,
Right.
yeah, it's
But
creepy.
you need live ticks.
Yeah.
Wait,
The fun part is going around and catching lizards.
Yeah.
That's shit I haven't done since I was a kid.
I like lizards. I do like lizards.
Yeah, we're checking them for
Ticks?
ticks. Well, like nymphs
Mission
and
accomplished.
larvae.
Nymphs. Are those the nymphs? Are those the little... They have wings?
No.
Are they like little Playboy models?
Nymphal it's just a stage of a
Oh.
insect.
That was
You got larval, nymph, and then adult?
I thought that was like... a fairy of some sort.
No. Well, yeah, I guess it's true.
I was hoping for. That's what I was hoping for. All right. Let's get into our toast of the week right now. Oh God, I'll go first, I guess. So, what do I have to drink tonight? Tonight, I have just a little shot of vodka here, and then I just have this sort of lemonade and vodka mixture thing that I'm sort of sipping on. And excuse me, tonight, my toast goes out to, kind of two things. Number one, Sony for winning the March NPDs, which is something that no one except for me thought could happen. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but even with Titanfall and all that kind of stuff, Xbox still came up short. So we had PS4s 3 months in a row as the top of NPDs. And also, I've been playing some Final Fantasy 14 on PlayStation 4, and it works really, really well. And with Final Fantasy 14 and PlanetSide 2 coming out, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more MMOs on consoles as just a thing that happens. And it seems Sony is kind of coming out ahead trying to get that done. So, I think it's a good move. So my toast goes out to Sony for those two things. Chris Davis, why don't you go next?
Well, tonight I have my thing of water because I just got done working out an hour ago. I'm trying to rehydrate. But to completely blow that off, I also have my bottle of vodka for which I'm going to be doing a shot.
Very nice.
Nice.
It's just regular vodka this time. It's not
whipped cream vodka?
cream, right? Yeah. And tonight I'm actually going to be toasting to Highmont Games. They're the studio behind the Trop series. And they've got Tropico 5 coming out next month. It's actually going head-to-head with Wolfenstein.
Uh-huh.
And I gotta say, I'm really fucking excited for it. They released a new trailer today, and they showed off some of the gameplay systems and things like that. it looks really good.
Cool. We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard much about that. Bob Webb, why don't you go next?
So I decided to kick it old school, get well, it's not a 40, but it's a 32 ounce of Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. Got to keep it classy.
Very nice.
That's what I'll be drinking tonight. My toast goes to fuck.
Every week, Bob.
I know it's coming, but
How about all the very nice people that you saw?
The wonderful people you met
at
at PAX.
I was wondering if that was a cop out. Like, guys, I met like a lot of awesome developers and a lot of awesome people, and I was gonna also toast my team for getting all their shit together before PAX and having an awesome demo. And there's so many things I'm thankful for. It's like Thanksgiving.
It is like Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
it is.
So one of those, your choice. So choose your own toast.
All of the above. Let's do all of the above.
All of the above.
All right, here we go. Well, then we shall do our toast. 1 and 2 and 3.
Because you're delayed, you have to do 2 toasts.
Look at him go. Look at him.
1.
You all right?
I'll be fine.
You okay? You doing all right?
I just need to get used to vanilla or regular vodka again.
After your whipped cream soiree.
Well, to be fair, it was really bad whipped cream vodka. It was like $8 whipped cream vodka.
Well, what kind was it? I mean, so when I get my whipped cream vodka, if I do, I get Pinnacle, which is sort of middle of the road.
Pretty cheap.
It's cheap, but it's not like, there's like Pinnacle. Pinnacle is above like the 4-star bottom shelf vodka or whatever, the $5 for the bottle. And but it's
a little lower than Smirnoff.
But it's below Smirnoff as well, right? It's between those two things. I think, so it won't kill you too bad. But I tell you, like the Pinnacle I get is like $9, but the bottom shelf is like $6. And let me tell you something: if you go for the bottom shelf, you really feel the lack of those $3.
Yeah, it's not worth the $3. I bet you tomorrow morning you wake up, you would be willing to pay $3.
Yeah. That $3. There's a big fall off that happens somewhere in that $3.
Yeah. See, the real problem was, they fucked with me at Specs, and this was Nikolai vodka. I had never heard of it before, but it was on sale for $11.99 for 1.5 liters. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, hey, maybe it's worth trying. What I didn't realize, I guess, was that it was on an end kiosk, not on the actual shelves. So I think they were trying to get rid of their product as fast as they could.
Yeah.
And now I last or 2 weeks ago I learned why.
Yeah. Not feeling.
It looks like Svedka is makes a vanilla flavored, or they make a different one. Svedka is kind of my middling vodka of choice. They're pretty good, and they're also really like reasonably priced.
Right.
I think they're based out of Sweden.
My favorite is Snow Queen. It's actually it's a Kazakhstani vodka, but it's really good, really smooth.
I'm a big fan of Monopolova. Actually, it's my favorite. Monopolova is really good.
I don't think I've had either of those.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely tried Monopolova. All right, so I want to talk about PAX. I really want to talk about the NPDs for March because holy shit. There was another big news item I was thinking about earlier today, and now I can't remember it. It was something else that was big. That was really big.
My dick.
No, it wasn't your dick. Even though I do think about it all the time. This is one of the few moments I wasn't thinking about your dick, Bob.
Oh man, I don't blame you. I'm constantly thinking about it too.
I guess we can talk about the Ultimate Warrior dying. That's
true. He did die.
That's sad. Did you see the WWE did a little tribute to the Ultimate Warrior? And man, I got all verklempt. The man tears started welling up. You guys just feel nothing. You're soulless sons of bitches.
I did not like wrestling growing up.
Really?
I just thought it was the most ridiculous
no.
The thing is, I grew up on wrestling, and I grew up on. I don't watch it now because it's sort of a shell of what it used to be. But I grew up on the Big Boss Man and the Ultimate Warrior and Undertaker and all those guys, and so it was like it hit me pretty hard when the Warrior died, and he had just came back. like 3 days before that, and he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame and gave a speech and all this kind of stuff. And then,
I remember hearing about that.
And then, like, walking to his car from the hotel where he was staying because he got the award, he just collapses in the parking lot and dies of a heart attack or a heart condition.
Jeez.
At 54, I think. Which was
Wow.
Which is what takes that's what takes these guys a lot is heart conditions.
That's kind of. I guess it was probably because they're all in pretty good shape. So you think
No. They're big, but they're not in good shape.
I guess they're muscular, but they're not.
Yeah,
their cardio is probably not very.
Well, don't like they
and lots of drugs.
Lots of drugs, and they're injecting themselves with tons of shit and stimulants and.
Oh yeah, no. If you're doing steroids and drugs, that's gonna definitely.
Stimulants, yeah. I mean, yeah. These guys' hearts have just been through so much their whole lives. They just give out. So they look healthy, but they are not healthy.
Yeah, I know. If anything, it's going down to drug abuse, either just past or current.
Yeah,
it's just that's living in the limelight. I mean, whether it's television, WWE, or movies, it's just how the stars handle shit.
It's a price you pay, kind of like bright,
self-medicating.
Yeah, you shine bright and go out quick type of thing.
Yep. No, it's definitely sad.
Yeah, definitely sad. Anyway,
that's right. They were all big back in the 80s, weren't they? 80s and 90s.
Yeah, this is back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, cocaine was probably just mountains of cocaine.
Yeah.
That was the drug of choice back then.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
I just remember what era this took place in.
I know. That mixed with the old crappy steroids and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh god. Yeah. No. These steroids do terrible shit to you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Just outside of heart failure.
But they make you look really good though.
I guess so. I don't know. I don't really think that looks good.
Oh, the thing is that like Ultimate Warrior, he was like 54, but he still had to be juicing with something because he was still as big as he was when he was younger. At 54, he was still giant.
Yeah.
So he still had to be using something, Usually it's like testosterone and growth enhancer is what the big thing is. Growth
testosterone,
hormones.
like surprisingly enough, your body produces testosterone, but it's something that kills you slowly.
Yeah, basically.
It's like that's why women tend to live longer than men is because testosterone has a major toll on your body.
Right.
Yeah.
So. But other than the Ultimate Warrior, I want to hear about PAX. I want to hear about the whole.
Oh, there was. I guess you could talk about PAX San Antonio. They announced PAX San Antonio.
They did.
Yes,
so
they did.
There's going to be a PAX.
Didn't I post the thing in the chat and I was like, "Hey, they just tweeted a picture of their office. There's a clock that's in Central Time. It's probably going to be the next PAX."
Yeah. No, you were right. I was like, well, I think I remember I was saying that I wasn't sure because there's already two in the United States. Maybe it's PAX Europe. Be in Paris.
Yeah, they
or
talked about
like
doing
that.
PAX Europe, but I think it might just logistically it's too difficult to. I mean, possibly just with either shipping everything out there.
Yeah.
They probably would have a hell of a time getting it out there on time, and maybe there's some import export type laws. I'm sure there's some shit in there that makes it super complicated.
Yeah. No. I'm sure. So no, it's exciting. It's very exciting. It's in Austin. How far is that from you guys?
Well, San Antonio.
It's in San Antonio. That's about an hour's drive away. So no big deal at all.
Yeah, that's easy. Cool. Yeah, no, I'm kind of excited. Now, here's my question. Do you think there's a danger of PAX getting watered down because there's too many of them?
No.
Really?
It depends.
I keep on hearing from people, not you, Bob, but I keep on hearing from people from 4Player how this PAX was kind of lame.
It was lame in the regards that I think it fell in a weird period where there was not a lot of AAA titles being pimped there, and I think it's because it's also in regards to the schedule and the bridge between two generations of hardware. Mm-hmm. Like you got a lot of HD re-releases coming out. You don't have a lot of big AAA titles coming out. If they came out, if there like all the big ones already came out before PAX.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also have to put into consideration that we're a little over a month and a half out from E3.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be saving up their releases for E3.
Yeah, last year PAX was 2 weeks earlier if I recall.
Oh, it was right before E3.
And so that was pretty much a good time for them, for Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, the whole nine yards, to really show off all their content that they had, because it was the end of the fiscal year. But now they have to start saving up their stuff for E3, and you can't really show stuff at PAX East if you make it later in April.
And remember this. Remember that PAX Prime now is 4 days long.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Remember, it's 4 days long. It's Saturday, Sunday. No, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and
Oh, wait,
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah,
because they're always doing it on Labor Day weekend now.
exactly. Yeah.
And then we I was really surprised at PAX East that Nintendo wasn't there and Sony only had like a PlayStation Merc store.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
it.
And
publishers.
Sega wasn't there. I think Capcom had a limited presence too.
Were they even? I don't remember seeing any Capcom. There was no Capcom booth.
It's
That's what I mean. That's so weird. I mean, there wasn't. It was kind of a lot of stuff was missing there.
Yeah. There's a lot of big names that are entirely missing there, and it's just.
I think you're right. I think PAX East is a weird time because E3 is right around the corner, and that's when everyone's going to start making the big announcements, and no one wants to blow their wad 50 days before E3. No one wants to do that. So I kind of can understand how PAX East is kind of like PAX Light in a way.
Yeah. Well, you did. What ended up happening is that the show floor was dominated by indies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's, I would say, more space on the floor, like 50 to 60%, maybe even more, was indies. Like, outside of the indie mega booth, outside of the indie showcase, there was a bunch of booths that indies had bought, and some were sharing it together. There was the mini indie booth was another one that I saw, and there was like four or so developers there. Quite a few people we were with at GDC had either bought their own booth or split one with others outside of the indie mega booth.
Well, I remember when we went to PAX East last year.
They were saying there was a ton of indies there.
There was a lot of indies there.
It's
right here.
Way more.
Even more. Oh my god.
It's even more. Like
insane.
If you look at the floor plan, like just imagine you got the major outlets like right where the escalators come down.
Yeah.
Then everything around them are indies.
Jesus. Wow.
It was crazy. Like where the major outlets end, like it's just surrounded by indies. It was crazy.
Jesus.
So many indie games there.
Crazy.
Which is awesome because there was a lot of really cool stuff that we got to see that was we wouldn't have ever seen before because there's just not enough room or couldn't afford it or whatever bullshit.
Yeah.
So this is definitely the PAX of the indies.
Yeah. And you were there, and we talked about this a little bit, but how do people like Tetropolis? Was it pretty good?
Yeah, I think we had a really good reception on it. I showed it. So I did a lot of fucking interviews. Since we were only showing on Sunday, I had lined up a ton of interviews on Friday and Saturday as well.
Right. So
I was kind of sneaking off to these side rooms. There's a room called the AFK room, and I think it was sponsored by some kind of group that's bringing awareness about depression and mental disorders, because there was a bunch of flyers around that was kind of disturbing. Okay. But I just kind of ignored that and then just plugged my computer into the wall and showed my game to people.
That's considering what our game is about. That's actually a good place to show off.
Yeah, in the AFK room.
In the AFK suicide watch room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like a projector and slide, they hit slideshows or some kind of PowerPoint presentations going. I don't know. It was weird. But other than that, I mean, it was good. A lot of people got to see the game. A lot of people, a lot of the community got their hands on it for the first time. A lot of, quite a few people beat the demo. I was not expecting that.
Nice.
We had set a timer because we had people at GDC spending like an hour on the game, and you can get an hour of enjoyment out of the demo if you want to really fuck around with this shit. But it's also like we need to get other people to look at the game. We can't have people sitting there for an hour.
Yeah.
But what was the fastest time?
Oh, me, I beat it in 6 minutes.
Well, no, you've made the fucking thing.
I don't think it counts you, Bob.
Everybody else, I think the fastest, around like 18, 16 minutes were some pretty good ones, and they had pretty much no experience with the game at all, so they did a pretty good job getting to the end pretty quickly.
Nice. So, any other major takeaways from this PAX? There was no news. There was no real news. There was no big stories. No one got their hands. I guess one of the big things was that The Evil Within apparently is looking not so great, or people were not really impressed with it.
I think, as far as I can tell, I think ZeniMax brought the exact wrong demos to PAX East, because I think it was Zach and Jeff did a impressions piece on Wolfenstein, and it sounded like they were playing an entirely new level, and they did not enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
maybe ZeniMax had a new person working there.
I mean, I can understand them wanting to, show off as much of the game as possible, but sometimes you just want to show off the good stuff.
Yeah.
Don't show us off everything.
Right. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I can see the demo for Evil Within. What I saw, I kind of liked, but I don't know. There's so much in terms of when demos come out for big games. There's so much, it goes through so many hoops that it's hard to say how a game is going to be, even based on a hands-on demo that you play at some place like E3 or someplace like at PAX East. And especially because, a lot of times, the demo you play is what the development team is able to put together. Like, they're still working on the game, and now they have a show coming up, and they have to stop working on the game and take, a 10-minute section and polish that up as if they were going to release it to the public.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's sort of like it's a question of what can we do the fastest? What can we actually get done? And sometimes it's not always the level that's going to be the absolute best thing to absolutely show, but it's the sections of the game that they can polish quickly to get done to show to people. So there's this
and
balance
sometimes they even think that they have to make a demo-specific version for an event. So they'll cut together snippets of gameplay, make them into a pseudo level, and just make people go play that. And that's usually not a good idea.
Well, I read an article, and it was about 38 Studios and the game they put out, which the name escapes me now. What was the name of that game again?
38 Studios.
It's a game that was so. I know, right? Like,
Jesus Christ! It's the
Kingdoms of Amalur. Amalur?
Yeah, okay.
It's such a fucking nondescript name.
The whole game.
Don't remember it.
The whole game is so nondescript. That's the problem. That was the problem with the game. So right there is that's why this game didn't do well, because there was nothing that stood out. Not even the name. But anyway, I was reading about. I don't think it was a post-mortem, but it was something about during the development. And one of the issues they had was the publisher kept on demanding demos and new and updated demos for all of these events, and the team had to keep on stopping work on what they were doing to go and make these little demos and polish them up to par, and it really cut into their production. And one of the things they said was if they were going to do it again, they would say they would not make as many demos as they did, because it really ate into their schedule. So a lot of times,
really, what you need to do is you need to make a really good demo for an event. Take a month out of your schedule, make a vertical slice, and then as your work progresses in the game, just update that demo with that new stuff. That's it. But don't do anything else.
It's not as easy as just updating a demo with new stuff. I know it sounds easy, but it's not. It's not that easy.
Well, it could be like the demo's built with some legacy systems, and then you have to yank out the legacy systems, put in the new systems, and that's a lot of porting cost. And then you have to either update the content to fit the new systems, if it's even compatible, and then you have to try to fit in some new aspect of gameplay, and it might not fit into the level anywhere. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. My biggest plan, especially for Tetropolis, is we'll make one demo with all the gameplay it's going to have, and period. Now we're not going to add any gameplay. We're going to just basically polish the visuals. That's it, and then keep that demo throughout. I probably won't build a new demo.
Yeah.
Probably. Of course, I say that, and then
always a probably.
2-3 months later,
we make another
another 5 demos,
like a huge thing. And it's like, oh my god, we have to update this, But it's not always as easy. So I don't know. Like for instance, I was not talking shit, but I was really worried about the South Park game quite a bit from what I saw the few times I saw it, and when it finally came out, it was pretty awesome, and it had. My biggest complaints was I was afraid it wasn't going to be as witty as the show is, and I remember the demos they showed. I never played it, but the things they showed, it was just like fart joke after fart joke after fart joke, and that was it. And I was like, oh my god, this is like a bastardization of like what South Park is, and I was really worried about the game, and it turned out nothing like that at all. It turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Indeed.
Indeed.
Good sir.
All right.
I do declare.
Before we get to what games we've been playing, I haven't been playing much. I played a little bit of Final Fantasy 14. Mostly. That's what I played. That's about it. But Chris Davis.
Joseph Christ.
Mr. Chris Davis.
Mr. Joseph Christ.
What happened yesterday?
What happened yesterday? Well, I went to work, and then after I got off
not
work,
with
I
you.
worked out, and
Not with you. I'm talking about the NPDs. I'm talking about the fact that PS4 sold more units in March than Microsoft, even with Titanfall, even with the bundles. No, even with the bundles, even with the price cuts that went on, and it's great. Yeah, it's great for Sony, but I mean, it seems like Microsoft really needs to light a fire under their ass and
I think they
something.
made that decision when they got Phil Spencer to take on the role of head of Xbox.
So, I think here's my two big predictions. One prediction I think is my main prediction. My second prediction is like my holy shit, what if they just go nuts prediction. My main prediction is that come E3, there's just going to be a $100 price drop. Boom. Xbox One, the way it is right now, $399. Starting at E3. My second prediction, which is my off-the-wall nutso prediction that I think could possibly happen, is that you have the Xbox One SKU, and then what they're going to do is they're going to develop another SKU, which is going to be the Xbox One minus the TV stuff, minus the Kinect, with better RAM, and they're going to call that like their hardcore gaming machine. And they're going to sell the Xbox One as sort of the entertainment center for the family, and they're going to sell this other SKU, yet unnamed, to their hardcore gaming audience as their actual hardcore gaming machine. What do you think?
Call it the Xbox Fun.
Yeah. Would you like the Xbox One or the Xbox Fun?
What's the difference? Well, one of them you can do everything. One of them you can do some things.
That was good.
They both do the same things, but this one sucks a dick.
This one sucks a dick too.
Yeah, we changed out the HDMI in port, and well, you could have some fun there.
All right. So that's what I think. That's what I think.
Number one seems reasonable. Number two, I don't think we would see any architecture upgrades. So I don't think we would see like a RAM or ESRAM upgrade.
Right.
Nah. It seems unlikely, just because they don't want to. You don't want to develop games for two different SKUs.
I think it would be better for them if they waited another year, maybe a year and a half, before they released a updated build system that contains the fixes for the ESRAM and the DDR3 RAM and things like that.
Right.
I don't think they're in a position right now in which they can do it, because they probably still have a shitload of units that they got to sell before they can even get to the point to where they can start thinking about that.
Oh yeah, because there's retooling that needs to happen, all that kind of stuff. I just feel like, they need to make big moves at E3, because not only is PS4 selling more, but if you break down the numbers, which people have done, Microsoft is actually selling less Xbox Ones week to week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, because this March had more weeks than the other months, and they only sold a little bit more. So they actually sold less in March than they sold, the previous month. So if they don't get a handle on this and the PS4 just keeps on going up, they're going to lose a huge install base. And one thing you have to remember is that the console war, quote unquote, is not even it's only partly about selling consoles, but it's also about selling subs. It's just selling these online, subscriptions, PSN, Xbox Live. And we're in a situation, somewhat economically in this country, where people don't want to spend money for 2 of those subscriptions on top of their cable bill. So once they get a PS4 and they start paying for PSN, they're not likely, especially with the price tag on these machines, to get a second machine, get an Xbox One. And even if they do, they're even less likely to get Xbox Live.
Yeah, the majority of gamers, if they decide to get a second machine, it's going to be 2 to 3 years down the road.
Right.
When the prices have come down, when the library for the opposing system has gotten a lot bigger.
That's what happened with me.
When there's more incentives for them to do it.
That's what happened with me. I mean, I got my 360 a few years into the 360 lifespan, and then it took me 2 or 3 more years after that before I got a PS3.
Yeah.
So,
Can we go into numbers just real briefly, like in depth here?
Go for it.
So we know that Titanfall was the number 1 game that was sold at retail.
We know,
but we have some interesting numbers here.
Go for it.
So the bullshit ripoff game, also known as Ground Zeroes, sold 278,000 copies total. Right. 204,000 of which were on the next gen consoles.
I know. They just need to kill previous gen development.
What? I didn't realize they even made 360 and PS3 versions of those.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Ouch. That's.
I mean, it is a. I mean, the Phantom Pain is going to be a cross generational game.
I don't even think that's going to recoup the cost of porting. Like why? Like that's what. So there was only maybe like a couple thousand that were sold on that.
Well, if you do the math here, they sold 72,000 copies on the last gen. Or I'm sorry, 74,000.
Ouch.
No.
Yeah.
Now that's physical retail copies. That's not digital sales through PlayStation Network. Or
because MPD doesn't really track that, unfortunately.
It tracks Amazon sales and all that stuff, but it doesn't track like PSN and Xbox Live sales.
Which is bullshit, because, I mean, you'd see some drastically different numbers if you did that.
Yeah, probably.
Well, it's up to Sony and Microsoft to disclose that information, and they don't.
Yeah, they don't.
I'll fucking disclose it, you... So, we know the Xbox One sold 311,000. Mm-hmm. I don't think we really know the exact number for PS4 for March.
It's 60,000 more. So 371.
60,000 more? Yeah. Okay, so that would be 371.
Yeah.
Okay. The 360 sold 111. We don't have PS3 numbers.
Right.
But, okay, so here we go.
Are we getting to the Vita now?
The Vita. Oh, God. God. The Vita sold 10,000 units. Guess how many of the 3DS sold?
156,000, right?
159.
159.
Good God. That is
150,
atrocious.
159 is not, for a handheld, that's not that bad, is it?
No. I'm not talking about, that being a bad number.
The Vita.
I'm talking about in comparison to the Vita.
Oh, yeah. No, okay, yeah. No, Vita. And if I remember correctly, it's 10,000, but there's a little squiggly. Doesn't that mean it could be underneath 10,000?
Yeah, they can't ascertain whether it was actually above 10,000
because it's too low.
Yeah.
Why? So here's my question: like there's a Vita in the house here, right? I don't use it that much because of the absurd thing that you can't have multiple PlayStation Network accounts on the same Vita.
You can't?
No, you can't. I think you have to do it through the memory card, and then put it on the memory card, then reformat, and then put the other memory card. There's a process. There's this weird process you have to go through to switch PSN accounts on a Vita.
I cannot wait until the Sony press conference at E3 this year just to count on one hand how many games are going to be announced for the Vita.
Yeah, I bet they won't. If it keeps on selling like that, they are going to drop The drop stuff. I mean, I don't know.
What would be even more terrible is just how many of those games are actually indie games and not big budget titles.
Right. And how many are, already in process.
Oh, God. That's such a... But the worst news is for Nintendo.
Right. So did the Nintendo numbers actually come out?
Yes, they did. They came out today.
Oh, okay. I missed because everyone was waiting for the Nintendo press release yesterday, and it never came.
Gentlemen, would you pull out your drinks and take a shot with me, because this thing needs alcohol.
I'm ready. Just
wait, hold on.
poised.
Wait, I'm not ready yet. Hold
Hurry.
on. I'm not ready
Hurry.
yet. Hold on.
Hurry.
Hold on. I have something.
Are you touching yourself?
Is this it?
You pulling it out?
I heard some moaning.
Oh no! What are you doing? What you doing? Massage it a little bit. Massage it. Work it.
Never mind.
The
Okay.
feet's still light, so I can't see.
Go ahead. All right.
All right.
I have
Shot.
a
Is his dick out?
I'm fine.
The Wii U sold 70,000.
Oh man. Yeah, that's
Ouch.
bad.
But the Wii sold 28,000, meaning that two major consoles combined, it sold less than 100,000 units in a month.
Wow. And how many people bought a Wii just because they thought it was a Wii U and the other way around?
Oh, I bet that might be a 15-20% margin.
Yeah.
Ugh. That is so sad. And yet I don't really feel any pity for Nintendo. No pity at all.
The thing is weird. I mean, the Wii U is not a horrible system.
It's not
Right?
a horrible system, but it's a horribly marketed and horribly, realized library of games for that system.
Right. Have they just gotten like lazy over the past 10 years?
I think they saw what they did with the Wii. They sold bajillions of them on a gimmick, and they don't realize it was a gimmick.
Maybe.
It's sad.
Maybe. I think they really need a change of leadership. I was going to say it.
It's time for Iwata to step down.
Yeah.
In fact, it might be time for Reggie to start looking at a successor too, because I mean, you cannot close out March, the end of your fiscal year, as bad as they did. Because, good God. I mean, they didn't even have a real game to close the month out. They had Yoshi's New Island, and Nolan, evidently he was so pissed off at that game that he took it out, he found his save, he deleted his save, and he took the game back.
Oh God. Oh man. So what?
Yeah.
What is on there? What's on Nintendo's radar for coming out soon?
All, as far as I can tell, the only things they really have on their radar that actually might sell systems is Bayonetta 2, which is going to be a fall title, and Mario Kart 8. And that's it.
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze though is awesome.
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about that.
I hear it's great. But it's Donkey Kong. I don't think that's going to sell nearly as a tenth of the number of units Mario Kart will sell.
Right.
And Bayonetta has such a strong following, I think it would easily outsell anything Donkey Kong could ever achieve.
Yeah, but I don't see people buying. Bayonetta is a niche title. I don't see it. I mean, it didn't do well. I mean, let's face it. Bayonetta didn't do really great on main consoles, let alone Nintendo's console.
Yeah, but there's a certain portion of the Wii U audience that's going to be wanting a more mature game like that.
No, that's great, but they need to sell Wii U's.
They do.
Not sell
They
to
do.
people who already have them. Like, if I have a Wii U, hell yeah, I'm going to get Bayonetta 2 because I'm thirsting for something to play on it. But I can't see people going out and buying. It's not one of those games that is just, people are going to run and spend money to get it. I don't know. I don't want to say, like, it sounds so fucking cliche to be like, they need a Zelda game. But they kind of do.
Something.
But they
just
need
something new.
They need an amazing Zelda game. They need, like, Future Link on a motorcycle. Didn't Brad talk about that once? He wanted like Future Link on a make it all like sci-fi.
I have said in the past that I don't mind a sci-fi-ish take on The Legend of Zelda. I don't think that's a bad idea.
How about Neolink?
Neolink, and he's on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And he's got a green trench coat. It's flapping in the wind.
And fucking Navi is a holographic projection.
Yes,
She's a hollow AI.
She already
Princess
in Skyward Sword.
Princess Peach is actually
I never played that shit. Don't talk to me about that.
Princess Peach is actually a stripper. You need to save.
That's her stripper name.
Her stripper name is Princess.
Oh, yeah. Princess. Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
I guess Brad's on the.
Oh, is Brad on chat? Oh, there he is. Yeah, it's not how it goes.
He seems a little upset.
He said, no, that's not how it goes. Link's Fairies, Danny DeVito. Brad says Link's Fairy is Danny DeVito. My God, that's amazing.
See, now I would buy that game.
Hey, I'll heal you. Come on.
Oh, God.
Gotta find a giraffe force.
I mean, and I
grab a water.
I mean, the Wii U it's a capable system. It's not graphically capable, and a lot of AAA studios are just fucking abandoning it left and right because it's not graphically capable because they don't want to make console specific versions for that system. So, but it's such an interesting setup of controls that you could make some really interesting games. Like,
oh yeah.
I tweeted out today, it's been 1.5 years since this fucking system was released. This is the perfect system for it. Why isn't there a Pokemon Snap 2, for example? That is the perfect game for the Wii U.
Was there ever there was there was the Wii version of the Jesus Christ Fatal Frame 4? Was that on the Wii?
Yeah, it was Fatal Frame 4, yeah.
Why not Fatal Frame 5 on the Wii U?
Because they don't want to spend the money. They only see Nintendo properties as selling on that system, I think.
This is why they won't go anywhere.
But they don't also at the same time they don't want to spend the money to make the realized versions of those properties on this system. They don't want to take advantage of the capabilities. So all they want to do is live on their back catalog and port titles. And port them and remake them and port them and port them. That's all they want to do.
They need an amazing Zelda game followed by an amazing Metroid game. And I'm going to say it, they need to fucking go back to E3. They need to go back and do the stage show at E3 because whether you like it or not, when you have those stage shows and they're good and you show amazing stuff and you get the enthusiast press enthusiastic and excited, they will talk about your stuff in an enthusiastic way, in a very excited way. They'll even though it, I think some of us, ate our words a little bit about the 3D on the 3DS. But when we went to the E3 with Nintendo at like fucking 7:30 in the goddamn morning, and they showed us a 3DS for the first time, and it was the first time I ever experienced like 3D without the glasses. Like,
it wasn't just them showing off the system. After the show ended, there were tons of stage reps just
that's what I mean,
just holding out 3DS.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I got to. That's what I mean. I got to actually see it, and like we did a video after that, and I was fucking so excited. I was so excited, and we put that video out, and everyone else got excited about it because we were excited. No one is getting fucking excited over Nintendo Directs. Nobody. They're fucking boring. They are fucking boring. They're not exciting. I don't want to see Nintendo Directs. They need to put... I know it's shitty. It's the shittiest thing in the world. It's the shittiest fucking thing in the world to say that they need to put on a stage show to tongue the asses of the press that are there. But unfortunately, that's the reality. That's why people have trade shows. That's what it is. Like having that person-to-person interconnectivity is very important for getting people who write about your stuff excited about it. And then
we're the message carriers. We're bringing the message of your product to the people.
And then when those people are excited, their audience gets excited. Their communities get excited. And those are the people who are buying your stuff. No one is getting excited about Nintendo Directs. They need to go back to E3. They need to do more stage stuff. I mean, it's so important.
They absolutely do. I mean, the Nintendo Direct, the only thing good that you can really say about them is that they're cost effective. All they have to do is make a video. They don't have to put on a multi-million-dollar presentation for 5,000 journalists just to get a message across. But they can do exactly what they want, how they want, and control the message.
Sure, but everyone always talks about Nintendo's war chest. Well, fucking crack it open, okay? And spend some fucking money on good E3 shows, putting a lot of money into good developers to make really good games, and make some freaking commercials or something. Put a fucking billboard up for once in your life.
The war chest is the only thing really keeping Nintendo alive right now.
I know. Well, they got. I mean, I guess I don't know, but they need to do something. I think they just got lackadaisical. I think they've been Nintendo for so long. And even when they were selling Wii U's, and everyone else was like, "Oh, fuck Nintendo," they were still making hand over fist, selling Wii's to grandmothers in retirement homes who want to play bowling and stuff, and like hot milfy moms in yoga pants. But I mean, for the most part, everyone else was like, "Oh, what's Nintendo doing? They're really weird." They were like that friend who really gets into cocaine or heroin, and like they're having the time of their fucking life. They're in their room and they're baking the spoon. They're like injecting the needle. And they're like, yeah, life is so good. And everyone else is moving on, going, what happened to Jim? It's like, oh, I don't know. Jim's kind of into some weird shit right now. He's waggling his things back and forth and playing fucking bowling and injecting heroin. You don't know what he's doing. And now Jim is finally, after like 5 years in a heroined up haze in the basement of his grandmother's condo, his house. He's opened the door and the world has moved on, and he's trying to get a job, and he's like, no one will hire me. What the hell's going on? And everyone's like, God, Jim's back. We thought he died. What are we talking about?
Just the stupidity of Nintendo.
Well, this is what I think they need to do, is they need to give us a couple... Yeah, I would take a couple $100,000, give us some dev kits, and we'll make Tetropolis on the Wii U. Mm-hmm. We talked about some pretty cool shit using the Wii U gamepad for our game.
We did.
Yeah, some like cool asynchronous gameplay where you can have like multiple people playing the single player game at the same time.
Right.
Pretty cool shit.
Yeah.
But, that's the problem is you have Unity 3D was announced on the Wii U and GDC. You'll probably get some people jamming some shit, but it's not going to be a super viable market because there's not enough install base.
Yeah.
You won't get the really big, high, top name indies going and making some really cool shit. You won't get a tower fall for the Wii U because also, you know what? Nintendo's going to say, "Fuck you. We're going to support our own shit. We're not going to promote your stuff."
Right. Mika Bozu on chat over at 4pp.tv. He goes, "What about a new game, guys? A totally new original game that's not Zelda, Metroid, or Mario."
Nintendo doesn't want to make a new game. They have
like Wonderful 101. That did great.
They're not in a position to which they can afford to work on a new IP. They have to work on their work. They have to go back into their war chest and pull out these old game franchises and then make them for the 2014, 2015 audience.
The problem is that, and this is sort of joins in what we were saying earlier today, earlier this show, about enough people buy PS4 and means less install base for an Xbox 360 and all this stuff. It's that everyone has moved on now.
Yeah.
It's like and unless you're really into Mario and stuff, which honestly, like in the current climate, it's sorry to say, but it's kind of easy to live without that stuff now because there's so many options out there in terms of PC games and indie games and Steam games and early access and Xbox 360 and PS4. I don't really need a Mario game anymore.
You need to be showing off your total library, not showing off independent low games.
Right.
I mean, it's going to be increasingly bad for them as the years go on because you're not going to get Battlefields. You're not going to get the the proper version of CODs. You're not going to get the just any number of 100 different AAA franchises.
Well, you know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is, remember during the Wii U years, games would come out for the 360 and PS3, and then you'd get the Wii U version, which was like a PS2 game by that time.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get the PS4 version, PS4 games, the Xbox One games, and in the off chance they appear on the Wii U, I mean, is it going to be that sort of same situation? What's the power capability of the Wii U compared to the new ones? I know that Watch Dogs will be on Wii U still. What's that version going to be like?
It's going to be like the iOS version.
Well, I mean, but what? I mean,
awful.
That's an honest question, though. What is the power capability of the Wii U? I mean, is it? I mean,
no, it's not
anywhere near comparable.
It's probably. Let's see. So.
I think the best chance for ports to come to the Wii U is if that game isn't exclusive to the next gen. If it's available on 360 and the PS3, there's an off chance that it might come to the Wii U. But otherwise, it's just not going to happen in 2016, 2017.
It's kind of sad because I'd love to be able to make a Wii U game because I can think of I've already thought of several ideas I can do with a gamepad. Mm-hmm. But it's like one of those things where it's going to be minimal effort for me because I know I can't sell that many.
Right. Like how much time and money do you want to invest in development of something like that when the install base is, either so low or just not really purchasing games,
Yeah, and it's just like if Nintendo had pulled the Sony at the beginning of that generation, it was just like, indies, come to us, we'll totally send you kits, we'll like waive all these fees, we'll promote you to all hell. We'd be singing a different tune right now because there'd be a bunch of really cool indies trying to go to the Wii U because they'd get it'd be cheaper and easier to get into it. Like a lot of indies are just dying to get onto a console. And now that Sony and Microsoft have already established their self-publishing programs on the next generation, Nintendo's kind of way behind them.
Yeah.
Even they were even late to that party, and they were already the fucking first to market on that bullshit.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
Man, you know what I want, and we don't. I just want Nintendo to open themselves up. I want them to become like a polyamorous person and open themselves
Get on the
up.
couch and start talking.
I want Nintendo just to just give up the iron grip they have on their IPs. Let somebody put a fucking Zelda game on the PS4. Just do it. It might hurt at first. It might hurt the first time, but you'll get used to it.
Sega got used to it. Look what happened with them.
Sega got used to it. You just got to.
Yeah, now Sega now is like a crack whore, though.
Yeah, that's what happens. You go too far.
Sonic will suck your dick for a ring. I mean,
Sega got the taste.
You know what they say? If you want to keep it, put a ring on it.
No, the best thing I think Nintendo could do right now, number one, at E3, have a presentation. At that presentation, show off 12 games for the Wii U. Just 12.
Right.
Just 12. That's not asking too much. And make sure they're just decently sized titles, okay? Number two, drop the price of the fucking thing. Get it down to $199.
Right.
Do that. Oh my god, the people will start really considering the system.
$199.
Number three, completely rework how you work the virtual console. Don't have it gated to each fucking system. Have unified Nintendo accounts that work across every single Nintendo console or handheld that you own. If I buy Super Mario Bros. 3 on the Wii U, then I own it on the 3DS, I own it on the Wii, I own it on whatever else Nintendo comes out with.
But then they don't get a nickel and dime you. They don't get have you pay like 2 or 3 times for the first game, the one game. Like it's against the business logic.
Yeah.
It's how you have to choose whether you're going to go with the business logic and earn money, or if, in the short term, or do you want to build your community and earn money in the long term?
Bob looks like an alcoholic Solid Snake with that thing.
I got the High Life sticker on my forehead. Yes.
Miller Life. This is good, isn't it?
Miller High Life.
This
It can't be.
This is good,
I'm living
isn't
this
it? Oh, man. I don't know. It's crazy shit.
High Life. Colonel, what's a shitty beer doing here? I have no idea.
That's pretty good.
It's a champagne, a beer.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. 9 o'clock. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. You're watching Cocktail Time Live here at 4playernetwork.com. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back, everybody. You are watching Cocktail Time Live here at 4Play Network. You should be watching over on 4pp.tv. That's our main live page. I want to thank everyone who came out watching us live tonight, especially thanks to our subscribers. People like Christo Palos, people like Mika Baozu, people like Jordan D808, people like Scrawny Flannelman and the Urban Hitman. I thank you guys very much for subscribing to us. If you like what we do here at 4Play Network, we do ask that you think about subscribing. It is $4.99 a month and can be done so over on Twitch TV. For your money, you get a nice little 4P next to your name. You get no ads on our broadcast or on our website, 4playnetwork.com. You get exclusive content like our dinner times and top fives. You also get early access to our video reviews and all that kind of good stuff. You also get the chance to become Chatter of the Month. If you become Chatter of the Month, you get to dictate what games we play this month. And we will do a podcast with you. But also want to thank everyone who, even if you're not a subscriber, people like Toast Points, people like DG Tinderbox, people like Big Baz, want to thank you guys, too, for watching us tonight live at 4pp.tv. All right, so let's talk more about all these games. All these games I know we played this week, right? All of us, tons and tons of games.
I played a few games.
Did you, Bob?
Oh, I played more Dark Souls 2, but what have we said about that? I keep learning new shit about this game. Like,
that's the thing about Dark Souls.
What the fuck? What does that stat mean? Then I'm like, oh shit, I need that stat. Well, Jesus Christ.
What is it? Adaptability?
Adaptability. It's an entirely new stat. It dictates how fast you raise your shield and drink potions and shit.
Oh, I know what I need to talk about really fast. Before we get into that.
Uh-oh. What?
So, I went back in.
Oh, no.
Recently.
Oh, Final Fantasy 14.
No.
Battlefield 4.
PlanetSide 2.
I did too.
No.
I was playing it today, Joseph. We're like brothers.
I went back in recently. If people don't know, this is my PlanetSide 2 Terran Republic dog tag that I got at E3. It says PlanetSide 2 on it.
Yeah,
so
I picked it up today.
So
today I was like, fuck, I want to play a shooter. And I'm like, oh shit, I have PlanetSide 2 on. I just started playing it. I noticed all the fucking updates they did.
So I had to download like 8 gigabytes of updates. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But big news is I get in and I'm no longer in EXE.
Oh.
And I don't know.
Yep.
You are? Well, I'm not.
I guess they missed me.
But they must have missed you when they were getting everybody out.
I've been logging intermittently, so I guess they might have seen.
Yeah.
But drop in like once every month or so.
Right, but Archcraig is now gone from EXE.
Oh, really?
And Archcraig is in another outfit called HRMD or something like that. And so he's in there now, and almost all of the Drunk Division left with him.
Really?
Yes.
I wonder what happened.
Like 200 people.
Wow, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of alcoholics.
So apparently there's some, I wouldn't call it bad blood, but I mean, they might be a little titsy about
that's the way it goes in these fucking games. You get people that they just, you go different ways. Some people take it harder than others.
Exactly. So he invited me. They're doing a Drunk Division tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he invited me. So after the show, if you want to maybe go in there, I might.
Maybe. I'm full. I was just playing it like right before cocktail time.
It's so they do all this new stuff now where they're kind of really pushing the subscription thing now. So every time, so I used to have a subscription, even though I didn't need to. It just gave me a boost and stuff. I paid, it was like $30 for 3 months. I was like, fuck it. I canceled it because I wasn't playing anymore that much.
Same with me.
Yeah, but now, like, if you die and don't have the subscription, they're like, well, here's how much XP you got in that life. Here's how much you would have gotten if you had a subscription.
They did the same thing with the Tribes of Send.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, because I noticed that too. When you die, they'll graph your like kills over a lifetime. They'll kind of start collecting different statistics, and they'll show you like little quick stats for how you did during that lifetime, how long you lived, how many people you killed, how many points you defended, that kind of stuff. It's really kind of cool to see all this shit charted out and see all these like really quick stats and be like, yeah, I kicked ass that time.
Yeah.
And I was noticing that. I was like, this is kind of nice. It makes me feel good about myself.
Like what I
killed
did.
like 3 or 4 dudes, maybe even 18 dudes in one life. It's like, yeah, that's cool.
Because I think you kind of forget in like the hecticness about it. And God, I played like a couple of hours, and I almost forgot like how crazy and hectic those battles can kind of get.
I started playing a bunch of different classes too, like classes I'd never fucking played. Like started playing the heavy assault and just kind of playing around with the different guns and different things, and just kicking ass and having fun.
Yeah,
like I forgot how different they are. The different types of support classes and different types of assault classes. You can actually play the game entirely differently.
Totally. And I'm excited for it to come to the PS4. I mean, it's going to be.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, the fact that that Sony's really getting into the MMO and pushing the MMO market on their console, I think is a really good move.
Well, the big thing I noticed is the performance is significantly better in the game.
Yeah, so on the PC, the PlanetSide 2 performance is really good now. Like it's really good.
They bumped up I'm almost on Ultra and everything, and it's fucking smooth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's awesome.
And 1080p, like it is. I used to get frame drops here and there depending on what was going on, but now it's just like at least 60 frames a second the entire time.
Nice.
Yeah. It's really good. And this is before I would visibly notice dropping frames. I had to actually disable a lot of shit because it was running too slow. But they did some really major performance patches. They added a bunch of new shit. Like, they kind of refined things. It's not as confusing as before. They removed some things. I think you can actually. I was trying to. You used to be able to shoot generators to overload them or something like that, or you needed like an infiltrator to overload them.
No,
you just go up and use them.
No, that was all the time. So you're thinking of the old PlanetSide. In PlanetSide 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in PlanetSide 1. So in PlanetSide 1, you didn't need to be an infiltrator, but you had to have a
specific cert for
a hacking device.
Yeah.
So if you remember PlanetSide 1, there were really no classes. You just had cert. You could just cert things, and then you could use anything you wanted to use for the most part, and everything took up inventory slots.
But they definitely simplified some things in the latest patches and whatnot. Because it seems like there's certain certs are gone.
I don't know. I didn't get deep enough to really figure that out if they did or not. I think they streamlined the process of finding battles a little bit, so it was a little easier to kind of get yourself into things. But
there was a dialogue when I first joined. It was like, well, how do you like to play? And then it asked me all these questions, and I was like, you should play this class. And I was like, no, I'm going to play a medic. Fuck you guys.
Like, no, it's all right.
Yeah, I was like, I know what the classes are. Don't tell me that. I fucking played plenty of this game.
Yeah, probably just a little tutorial thing. But anyway, I just want to give you the news about EXE and all that stuff.
Yeah, cool. I'll definitely, if you're going to play after this.
I'll see. You'll see. I might have to get another drink or something. But you were talking about the Dark Souls 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's the thing I really enjoy about Dark Souls 2 is that it's different enough from Dark Souls 1 that I'm still discovering things.
Yeah. Like
there are items you recognize from the first game. Well, from the first game, I should say. I mean, if you don't want to count Demon Souls. Even Demon Souls had some analogs with Dark Souls, but it's there's the stats are different enough that it kind of offsets you. Like, it's kind of off-putting. Like, I think in Demon Souls, strength dictated how much you could carry. In Dark Souls, they switched to a different stat. Same thing with Dark Souls 2. And now they have adaptability, which is a new stat, which raises your agility, which is a different kind of, substat. Like, there's a bunch of substats that are affected by your prime stats. It's confusing as fuck.
Weird.
There's a lot of, until you figure out, which major stats you can actually raise by putting points into how they affect these substats and how those substats affect your gameplay. That's the most confusing part. Once you figure that out, then you know exactly, okay, I know I want to be able to have more invulnerability frames in my dodge roll, so I need to dump these points into adaptability. If you're a melee class, adaptability is actually a lot more important than I thought it would be. I didn't find that out until fucking last week. I've been playing this game since it came out. Because it's one of those things that's just you don't realize. I started a new character. I was doing a strength dex build with dual fist weapons, and I just punched the shit out of everything.
That's awesome.
If you go into a power stance with dual fist weapons, power stances are kind of reserved for if you're dual wielding the same type of weapon. So you have two weapons that are exactly the same. And if you use the fist weapons, you can just do a flurry of blows and stagger the shit out of anything. Nice. You can stun lock anything. It's really awesome, really fun to play with. But it's also a little more difficult to control. I mean, some of the boss, you have to be fucking close to things, really fucking close to things to hit them. You don't have the range as a sword or anything like that. Right. So you need to be up in their fucking face. And for bosses, that's kind of hard because some of the bosses, whether you even if you're up in their face and you swing at them, you might miss. Mm-hmm. It's really kind of interesting balance there. But PvP, it's a lot of fun to go punch the shit out of people.
Here's my question. Now, did you need to make a whole new character to the punching?
You can respec.
You can just respec? Okay.
Now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's these things called soul vessels you pick up through the game. I think you pick up 4 or 5 of them, and they allow you to do a full respec. They just give you back all the attribute points that you put into stats, and you can just dump them into anything you want.
Okay.
Which is different from Dark Souls, obviously, being the choice of you had to make a new character, you're committed. And same with Demon Souls, you could not respec.
Right.
I just made a new character because I wanted to kind of go through the content again, do a little bit better, and then try a different build without. Because I have two characters. I have one that's more magic focused and the one that's more melee focused. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of it's fun. I wanted to do like a dex strength build with a dual fist weapon, and then while still have my magic dude. I mean, it's one of those games where once you play it once, you can go through all the content 10 times faster.
Yeah.
So it's really very minimal time investment to get at where as far you are through the game without losing much time. I remember Dark Souls, the first one, I was able to get through almost half, if not more, of the game in like 2 or 4 hours.
Mm-hmm. That's not bad.
Like it's fast. You can get through very fast.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not a speedrunner or anything like that.
Right. Okay. What? Anything else besides Dark Souls? Demon Souls 2. Sorry.
PlanetSide
Dark Souls
2 was the big one that I was
playing.
Okay. I also played an interesting little because I was going through my business cards for GDC. Not GDC. Jesus Christ, I'm so confused now. For PAX, and there's the guy that I met at the mixer, the platform mixer for the Indie Mega Booth. They decided to do, hey, we're going to do a mixer where we get a bunch of people from Sony, Microsoft, and a bunch of other distributors, put them in a room with a bunch of free drinks and let the indies go at them.
Right.
There's a guy there that's making a, I guess it's a Metroidvania. It's called Mark of the Old Ones.
Okay.
And it's an interesting kind of, it's a little difficult to control, but you play a kind of a tentacle monster, like a blob of kind of, it reminds me kind of a little bit of like Lovecraftian type creatures, where you're just kind of this sphere of tentacles. And as you go through the game, you start off with one tentacle you control, and that's basically it. But then you'll pick up another tentacle. You start like grabbing out at things. Like each analog stick controls a tentacle,
mm-hmm.
so you can start like hand over hand. Like,
so it's like Octodad.
A little bit like Octodad in a 2D Metroidvania.
Interesting.
But there's additional powers and stuff you pick up. They have a Kickstarter that's going around now. I was playing with them on the demo, and unfortunately the demo's really short. I was hoping it would be a lot longer. It's like seriously like 3 minutes long.
Oh, really? That's really short.
Really short.
Oh.
Like because I played through it once. When I finally got used to the controls, I was getting through it, and I got to the end. I was like, wait, I just got used to the controls. Like, what? That was it? Like, that's it? You're only showing me, like, basically 1 or 2 puzzle mechanics here?
Right.
And then it just restarted the first level. It restarted the tutorial. I don't know if it was a bug or what, but and then I was like, all right, whatever. I'll just beat it again. And now that I'm more used to the controls, I went through it, blew through it in like 2 to 3 minutes, and then boom, back to the end. It restarted back at the beginning. I was like, okay, this is really short.
Yeah.
Which is it's got some neat ideas in there. If you wanted to check out Mark of the Old Ones, you can go to their Kickstarter and download the demo. But it's kind of neat. It's a refreshing take, as they have some more videos, gameplay footage that they're doing, and it looks like they're trying to do some cool stuff. And it's really just go and download and try it for yourself. And for me, I had a hard time controlling, because there's a mechanic like how far you extend your I think it's how far you extend your tentacle, and that allows you to swing differently. I had a really hard time with that. It's a game that's more difficult to control than our game.
Our game is not that difficult to control, actually.
No, our game you can learn it very easily, but it's the learning curve on this seems like it's a lot steeper, which is unfortunate, because it seems like it's doing some cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, he might tighten that up.
Yeah, definitely. I was actually going to see if I could contact the developer I was talking to and be like, hey, do you have like a longer demo or anything like that? Because I'm kind of interested in this, but I have no point of reference.
Like frame of reference for it, yeah.
Yeah, because I just got it's a short demo. I was kind of, I wonder if because I was talking to him at the mixer, and I was talking about the fact that we wanted to have a demo for a Kickstarter, but because the demo for their Kickstarter was like added relatively soon, or relatively recently. So I don't know if it was something I said and it was like, oh yeah, no, we're having a demo for a Kickstarter, so we know what we can do, or whether people can actually play our game and then decide they want to back it or not. I don't know if that was. Honestly, I talked to so many people that fucking weekend, I don't even remember anymore.
Yeah. I know what that's like. I know what that's
Yeah.
like. So cool. Yeah. So I played some. I've been playing some Final Fantasy 14 like this week, and I played during the beta, and one thing that's really cool is I had to make a new character, but the game actually saved my character data, not like the levels and stuff, but how I made my character, like the character, like the ears and eyes and stuff like that.
So the character creation.
The character, that's the word I was looking for, character creation. So I would just like plop in my character creation data and just start all over again. And I'm really liking it. So it's just an old style MMO. It's super deep. It's got multiple job classes. It's got a really good crafting setup, and it seems to be doing really well on the PS4 because they have a whole bunch of servers, and a lot of them are filled up already. When I try to make a character, there was like 5 that already weren't taking any more characters, and I see lots and lots of people on the server I'm in. So I think it's doing really well. And of course, like when you purchase the game, you get the first. So it is a monthly fee for this game. It's not a free to play. So they're doing the old model. So we'll see. You get 30 days for free when you buy the game. So we'll see how many people actually stick around past that 30 days at this point. But it's definitely like scratching that RPG MMO itch, I've kind of had. So I'm kind of thankful for it. But it's just like it's Final Fantasy, but it's sort of like Final Fantasy narrative at its absolute worst in every possible way.
Ugh.
Where they just they'll just start talking about shit that they've never talked about before with no build-up or no character development, and you just have no clue what the fuck they're talking about. And things will just happen that have no build-up and have no development, and you have no idea what they're talking about. Like, I am 80% completely lost in the story and have absolutely no interest in the stories at all. In any of it, which is kind of unfortunate because it's like, it just they start talking about stuff and your eyes just glaze over. It's like one of those things. So I don't know, but it's at least for the mechanical gameplay elements of it, it's pretty fun. And I'm just starting to get into grouping with other people, where you will have these I forget what they're called, guild leaves they're called, where there will be these instances that you can do that will just sort of they're pop up on a list, and it'll need like certain characters to play, certain player classes to play, and do these small little instances. And you just sort of like, yeah, I want to try that one or that one or that one, and you put yourself on this list. And eventually, as you're going through the world, like, hey, you want to play this? We're ready for you, and you'll kind of zoom into this instance and stuff and whatnot. So, but the biggest thing that I think is really kind of neat is that, Final Fantasy 14, if you look at the screen, there's tons of stuff going on. There's lots of information. It's like old-style MMO, cluttered HUD, completely cluttered HUD with all this information that I kind of love because it's just this sensory overload of all these numbers and things happening. But everything really works well with the controller. I mean, I think once you get into raiding and stuff like that, like I never really get that deep into MMOs where I'm doing big like raids and whatnot.
Yeah.
But if you get to that point, you can, plug a keyboard and mouse into the PS4 and it'll work. And
Really?
Yeah, and Final Fantasy 14 is set up. There's 2 control setups. There's a controller control setup, and there's keyboard mouse control setup. So if you get to that point, just plug a keyboard and mouse into your PS4, and you're good to go. But even with just using the controller, it works really well. Like it's laid out really well in order to choose enemies and choose party members and do your heals and do your crowd control and do your DPS stuff. I'm actually really impressed with their controller layout, and everything is customizable. Like the entire like layout in terms of HUD, in terms of positioning of stuff on your HUD, its size of text, all the buttons of the controller, everything is 100% customizable, which is so smart, I think.
It's pretty nice.
So yeah, so I'm having fun with it. It's kind of
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to be able to try it. Because there's some neat stuff that was like I knew a little bit about Final Fantasy XI. I know about the mechanics they have in there, and that was that. Some of it sounded interesting to me. I like the idea of it, but I don't know if I'd actually like playing it.
Yeah,
which is kind of
it. All it is it scratches that carrot on the stick itch. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, when I get to 20, I'll get this new ability, and then I'll use this new armor. And it's cool. Oh, no, I got this thing. Now I can dye my armor. But when I get to 21, I'll get more intelligence. I'll do more damage. And then, then I'll be able to go out into this other area, which is more dangerous, as these higher leveled creatures, and I can explore that. It's like,
I can do this dungeon.
It's that gated progression that makes it, kind of addictive, and makes that's the allure. You get to this.
As long as they meter it out at a decent pace, unlike fucking ESO.
No, so far they are, and they have different, there are a couple of areas, there were a couple of levels where I was like, oh, I guess I just got to grind these levels out. But I'm almost level 20, and it's been practically painless to get there. And one of the absolute smartest, coolest, best things about this game is that, there's like 3 magic classes, there's 4 combat classes, bows, and one is spears, and one is like sword and shield, and there's like 3 or 4 crafting classes, and there's 3 or 4 collection classes where you actually go and like cut down trees and harvest classes.
Yeah,
you can at any time after level 15 go and start learning those other classes.
Yeah, it's the same one with Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah, and so I say I'm a level 20, thaumaturgist, right? Which is what I'm doing right now, and I start grinding out a little bit of like my goldsmithing, right? If I ever want to switch classes, I just switch the items I'm wearing, and boom, I immediately switch classes, and I can just start doing my other stuff. There's no like respecking. There's no, and I mean that, and then of course like that means that if I'm like throwing everything into intelligence, I'm probably going to be a pretty shitty sword and shield for the most part, but I can probably still do it if I wanted to. But there's no like...
So the stats are not tied to the class, it's just base...
The base stats are tied to the class.
Well, so if you dump everything in intelligence as one class, would those stats be persistent if you switch to another one?
They are, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So then you have to actually try to make that up somehow. But I can still do it if I want to. If I just want to like test something out and see what it's like, I can still do that. And actually, some classes have skills that are cross-class skills. So there are some skills that the like a bow, I forget their actual name in Final Fantasy 14, but the person uses the bow and arrow that I can use as a magic class. Like I think there's a damage buff that they have that's actually cross-class, so I can use it as a magic class if I get enough levels to actually attain it on that other class.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really cool. Like it kind of opens up that whole job thing. Kind of opens up the game in total. So
yeah, that sounds fun to be able to. Well, there's a difference where it seems like you can actually synergize between classes and
right.
optimize yourself in specific ways, which is cool. I mean, I love that option to be able to do, really, really customize yourself.
Right.
Unlike certain MMOs that if you try to specialize in one thing too much, they block you from doing it.
Yeah. I know. I mean, this game definitely gives you that ability, and you get attribute points that you can put into stuff, and anything you want, whether it be intelligence or whatever else, and you can just sort of customize it that way. So, but anyway, I'm enjoying it. It seems from what I'm seeing on the server, it seems like it's doing pretty well. So. It'll be interesting. I think this is going to be the floodgates. I think you're going to start seeing more and more MMOs on, well, at least the PS4. I mean, so does Chris Davis, you're sort of our resident Xbox guy. Is Microsoft looking at the MMO thing at all?
I think they are. They're really not talking about it. Mm-hmm. I think it's just the problem where they're so kind of strict with their online model, how things are patched and updated, that they're kind of deterring a lot of developers from actually going to it.
Right.
Now, I'm sure, if they changed that system up and allowed a lot more freedom to the devs, that people would jump all over it. We would see Final Fantasy 14. We would see fucking Daisy and 1,000 other things on there. But
I'm telling you,
they're being really strict.
I'm telling you, if PS4 gets something like League of Legends on their system, it's fucking over. It is as an exclusive. It's done.
If they can do MOBAs on a controller and do it well.
Oh God, Dota 2.
I don't know.
I haven't played many MOBAs, but I mean, could it? So, but here's the thing, dude. You can plug a mouse and keyboard into your PS4.
Yep.
So
well, I mean, the thing is, you can plug a fucking mouse and keyboard on your computer, and you can play Dota 2 with a bunch of other people. Like,
I know.
Or anything, League of Legends.
But there's some people that just want to play in their living room and just have their friends list and have the all abilities, the community abilities they have on their console. I mean, you can do a League of Legends on PS4, couldn't you? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing, though, I think is...
or Xbox One.
You need to... like, the one thing I really don't understand is, like, parts of it I understand, but, like, you can have tiered systems. Like, you can have... let's say they make League of Legends for PS4. Mm-hmm. You have the PC crowd and you have the PS4 crowd. All right. And people are going to want to stay in their own crowds, but having the option to cross between the two,
right?
Like allow the PC version to play with the PS4 version,
right?
And allow a tier to be there. So maybe you'll have ladders on the PC only. Maybe you'll have ladders on the PS4 only, but then have a universal ladder between the two,
right?
And allow matchmaking between the two, and just have it be an option. I think that would be a much more viable. I would rather see that. In any kind of game, allowing, regardless if it's just a first-person shooter, if it's a MOBA, if it's an RPG, or if it's an MMO, like having that option where you can peer with more people based on, it doesn't matter what the fucking console you're on.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it's a question of graphics or systems or anything like that.
No.
I think it's just a question of figuring out how to simplify the game's control scheme down to a controller.
Yeah.
If they can do that, boom.
And the big
just go.
The big thing is, that especially with competitive games, like, I mean, why are you not playing Call of Duty on the PC with a bunch of people that are on the 360? It's because of skill barrier. Because PC and mouse, keyboard and mouse is significantly more accurate than a controller.
Yeah. It's
significantly more accurate.
Yeah.
There's no aim assist on a PC for a very good reason.
Yeah.
Because you don't need it. That's why they don't have those two different demographics fighting each other. Because there's automatically a gap in the just physical capability. But if you have something like a MOBA or an MMO or an RPG, any kind of like that, there's still a level of skill based, but it's not based on precision.
Right.
I mean, yeah, there's I guess if you want to talk about actions per minute or shit like that, then yeah, that's kind of a big thing, or actions per second. I don't even fucking know what they measure that shit in.
Actions per second, I think it is.
Yeah, but if you can plug a keyboard and mouse in there, and then it doesn't matter, you can just play it in your fucking living room, and as long as you can match with the same people, it would be a win-win situation. Whereas, if people want to do that on their console in the living room, why not let them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. All right, Chris Davis, what have you been playing as we wind into the final half hour of the show?
Honestly, I haven't been playing a whole lot. I've been working out a lot lately to just get into shape because I'm a fat ass.
Hells yeah, let's show us those muscles.
Yeah, let's see it. Come on, peel off that shirt. Let's see that's going on over there.
No, the last time I took a shirt off, something bad happened. So no,
it's all right. Don't worry. It's cocktail time. It's just you, me, and Bob. Don't worry about it.
You, me, Bob, and just the hundreds of people that are
We're
watching.
all
right
alone, baby. Don't be scared. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous.
Well, let's talk in 2 years and see what happens.
All right.
You played some Goat Simulator, right?
Played some Goat Simulator. I actually reviewed Goat Simulator. You can go to the website right now, forplayernetwork.com, and watch my very serious, very professional review.
Here's my question. I asked this to somebody online, and they apparently played quite a bit. But does it seems like it kind of is really fun for the first 25 minutes, and then you kind of got the joke, and then it's kind of done with. Like is it
it's
more
just
than
a question
that?
of finding everything. I mean, it is a small game, but you also have to realize that the game ships with Steam Workshop support.
Oh, so you can put your own
the
stuff
lifeblood of the game is going to be, a month or two down the road when people have really made content for it.
Okay, no, I can see that. I can see that. So what is the actual goal of the game?
It's built like a Tony Hawk game. You do things in the game and you score combos for causing mayhem or destruction or whatever. That's really it.
So it's
there
a score
is no
based.
end condition as far as I can tell.
Kind of a score-based sort of thing.
Yeah.
Can you die?
No, your goat is invincible.
Then how do you
get
know?
in situations where you're trapped and you can't move and you can just respawn. But other than that, no, you're invincible.
Then how do you know? How do you know when you're done?
When you decide to quit.
So there's no like winning.
There's no win condition.
Then why have points at all?
Just because video games.
It's because of video games.
Why does fucking Super Mario have points?
Well, you can die in Super Mario. Like you can say, I died, but I got this many points. In Ghost Simulator, you just get as many points until you shut it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really it.
Okay. It looks like fun. It does look like fun.
It is quite fun.
How much is Ghost
Simulator?
Simulator?
My review, but I will say it's a very enjoyable game. I think, again, the real meat of the game is going to come down to what people can produce in the next 2 months and really show off.
Right.
And they're already producing some stuff, so...
Like, what is out there now?
Texture mods. We got new models of goats. We got giant goats. New maps are in development. There's a lot of things going on.
I did see that someone replaced the goat with a model of Shrek.
Yes.
I saw that. I did see that.
What Shrek? Or are you talking about
Shrek.
Donkey?
Shrek. No, the actual Shrek. The green Shrek.
Yeah.
Mike
I
Myers.
thought the obvious choice would have been Donkey from Shrek.
But it would be the same model.
It would have been a donkey.
It would be a donkey. That wouldn't be a goat. That's
goat's
right.
not a donkey.
That's right. Goats and donkeys are different, aren't they?
Yes.
I always get them
Somebody
confused.
has recreated Pride Rock from The Lion King.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, that's the fun thing that I guess.
Can you headbutt what's that guy, what's the Rafiki? Gruffy?
I don't know.
Ruffy.
I don't know. I just discovered this.
Yeah, Rafiki and Simba off of the rock. You headbutt them.
No, it'd be more appropriate if it was Mufasa.
Oh, it's true. That's yeah. Well, that's not Pride Rock though. Let's get our shit right.
I know.
Oh man! Anything else besides Goat Simulator?
Played a little Civ 5. Played some Payday 2. They got a new update this past week that kind of reworks how the accessories work for earning them in the game. Long story short, you find packages in the world, and you collect enough packages, and it unlocks a set amount of accessories that are randomized. You can go to your weapons, and they can be really game-changing, accessories. I've been using one particular gun, the Commando. It was a DLC weapon already, but it had a really fucking shitty sight, and I could not, for the life of me, earn a new one. Well, we played the DLC one night, and we got a set amount of packages, and I unlocked like 3 different new sights, and it changed the way I approached that gun.
Okay.
Completely changed the way I play with it now. So, but yeah, Payday 2 is fun. They added a new heist in which you're supposed to commit election fraud, and it's balls hard. Very hard if you're not careful. Oh man, but it is a whole lot of fun. And I think you people should really sit down, buy this fucking game, and play with me because you would enjoy
I
it.
know you've been telling me for weeks, and I haven't had.
Not weeks or months.
I know.
On
it's
PC?
months.
What are you talking about?
What?
What console?
Well, it's on
PC.
It's on PC and PS3 right now.
And it's on 360, but you gotta play it on PC. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah, maybe I'll see if are they doing a sale.
They did a sale a couple weeks ago, and it was $10.
And I missed it.
What? Why didn't you tell us?
I did. I swear
probably
to God,
did.
I tweeted out said, if you don't buy this, you're a terrible person.
We're terrible people, obviously.
Evidently, you are. Yeah.
It was $10. I totally would buy them. Are you sure I was on the show?
I
might have not been on the show because I might have been fucking flying out to PAX.
No, we didn't have it because everyone.
No,
was
it
at
was
PAX.
well before PAX. It was well before GDC. It was like mid-March.
Yeah, I think I remember Chris.
Oh, was
saying
this doing their spring sale or something like that?
No. It was just an independent weekend sale.
Well, poopy.
Yeah.
You disgust me.
Oh wow.
And other than that, that's really about it. I've just been doing other things.
Right.
I had to do the Gut Simulator review, and I had to do a whole new top 5 video. So
Top
Jesus
5
Christ.
people, which is going to subscribers on 4pp.tv, correct?
yes, you can. If you're a subscriber, you can go watch it right now, and it's the links in the forums. And I do declare that it is a very fine, well articulated argument in my top 5.
And if you're not a subscriber, you have to go fuck yourself. Is that what you're saying?
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, yes. But you're beautiful people, so it shouldn't be much of a struggle.
No, it shouldn't. No.
All right, so let's move on. Let's do some news. We have some news. We got to have some news.
There is some news.
Let's do some
of it
news.
good, some of it absolutely terrible.
Okay. Lay it on me, Chris.
Okay. Well, let's start with what happened on Monday and what was really, really sad to learn. Marty O'Donnell, the studio composer for Bungie,
Right.
was fired from
Fired.
Bungie.
By the Bungie board of directors.
Yes.
Which blew my mind that a dev studio would have a board of directors.
No, you shouldn't be surprised, especially from a studio as large as Bungie.
It just
Bungie's
seems-
like 200 plus people.
It just seems weird, though, for a creative outlet to have a board of directors. It just seems like a bad way to make games.
I don't think it's odd at all, actually.
Really? I guess I just have this preconceived notion of what a board of directors would do. Like really lame people in suits.
Usually, boards of directors are people that are investing in the company, and they have no idea what that company does.
That's
So
what
really, really understanding like any kind of business aspects of running a specific company in that industry.
Yeah.
It just seems, I don't know. And he was specifically fired by the board of directors. That's what he said. They took a vote and they fired him.
They terminated him without cause on April 11th, so last Friday.
Bungie is a publicly traded company?
I don't know, actually.
No, you can't have a board of directors without. I mean, it's just venture capital. Well, if I can actually talk. Yeah, I guess because typically, if you're a publicly traded company, your board of directors consists of your shareholders. Or is it? No. Yeah, you can have a different board of directors. That's true. I mean, it gets fucking weird. I don't know. It seems like a really weird big business thing to see in a fucking game studio.
That's what I was saying. That's what blew me away. And everyone's like,
Yeah.
and people tweeted me going, "Yeah, of course, it's a business, asshole." And I'm like, well,
No, not all businesses have boards of directors, especially not game studios.
I know. That's why it seems weird to me. Thank you. I'm glad I'm not a crazy
Like, are
person.
on like fucking financial institutions and like
Like-
tech companies
Like
and
Hasbro and Coca-Cola. And
yeah, like really big brands. You don't see them in game studios because they're usually not that big of a brand.
right.
Like Bungie has one product.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't
That's
know.
a weird thing to have that kind of thing. But
All I know is,
yeah.
Why fire him? I mean, neither side is really saying what went down, but something must have went down, and something must be going on with Bungie, because people have been leaving that company left and right in the past 12 to 18 months.
Well, they're getting to the end of Destiny development, and honestly, like, there's just people you don't need anymore.
Well, yeah,
No,
that
I'm not-
happens in most MMOs developments. Is you'll get a lot of people who are just like, all right, I'm done. I'm going to move on. Other they've been with the company for long enough, and Bungie's been around for long enough now that most people who stay with game studios stay around for like 1 or 2 titles and they're done. They move on to another company.
Yeah, and
It's
also,
a very volatile industry.
and it's a really the best way to get a raise is to stay somewhere for 2 years and then move on. Actually,
Yeah.
especially in like
it's
tech.
just, But I mean, I'm not talking about just standard people. I'm talking about like leads. Studio founders have left Bungie. I mean, really, of the core Bungie co-founders, all that's really left is Jason Jones.
Well, do you know
Joseph Staten is left. Frank O'Connor's left. I mean, Marty. Well, yeah, he got fucking fired.
Well, do you know what happens in Silicon Valley? Like, it's pretty standard for people to start companies, get them off the ground, and then leave. Like, they love starting companies.
Yeah.
They love that smaller aspect of smaller studios, being able to execute and be more agile. Like, being part of a big corporate, like, is the worst thing for them. They don't like that.
That's the thing, though. They're an independent studio. That's the thing.
They
number
have
one.
a board of directors. They're not really independent at that point.
Yeah.
And number two, you also have to realize, I mean, these are co-founders that have been at the studio since the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't the case of people just starting up a studio and moving on. And we haven't heard anything about Joseph Staten or any of the others really opening up studios or doing anything on their own.
I bet they have more than fucking enough to fucking retire at this point. Like, really, they don't need to start another studio.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that simple.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people, they're what, in their 50s now? If they started in the 90s, they got to be in their 50s
At least.
and
Yeah.
60s. Like, they could easily retire now and never make another game.
Let me look up for certain.
If you're talking about if they like, all right, so Halo, Bungie would have been. No, I gotta say that's not 90s.
No,
that's
they're
2000.
in their 40s. I mean, Joseph Staten he was born in 72, so
Yeah, no, that would have been what 44, 42 at this point.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like they may just go into investment at this point because they probably if they manage their finances well enough, they probably just can live off investing and whatnot.
These are just creative people. I don't think that's the case. Especially as young as they are, I don't think that's the case at all. I think something's going on at Bungie. I don't know. This is talking out my ass if I even suggest that it's Activision being involved in this. But something's going to be going on for these people to leave in these numbers in this amount of time.
Well, yeah, no, I'm sure it's definitely a change in the structure because Bungie left Microsoft's wing back after Halo 3. Is that right?
Halo, no, they left
PSD.
after Reach.
Reach.
So that was 3 years ago.
Right, and then they get were you saying EA was
No, they signed a exclusive publishing deal for 10 years with Activision.
Activision, right? Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if after that 4 years they were like, yeah, I don't want to do this for another 6 years.
Maybe they finally saw what Activision was doing with all the other fucking studios and didn't want to become another fucking Call of Duty maker.
Right. I mean, it's just all about. I mean, corporate sucks. Like, really, I worked a corporate job for 8 years. I mean, and it was with a good company. Mm-hmm. It's a good, solid position. Well, it depends on what job you're working, especially in this industry. But you don't get a lot of freedom there. You don't get what you want to do.
I don't know. I don't know. I really love Bungie. I've pretty much loved every game they've made since Halo, including Oni, for example.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm really worried about Destiny, and now I'm really starting to get worried about what's going on behind the scenes.
I think you're overthinking it.
I probably am. There's a distinct chance.
Destiny, when you're making a big MMO like that, you get to a certain point to where you get everything you need. There's lots of people you don't need, and the thing kind of runs on autopilot for the most part, for a while. And, people who have been there since the 90s, I think that's almost a reason for them to leave. I mean, like, holy shit, that's a long time. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of milestones. It's a lot of crunches, and think what you may, but 42 years old in the tech industry is not young. Like in the tech industry, that's like old in the tech industry. And people are hitting like 35 in the tech industry, and it's like, they might as well be like over the hill.
Yeah, they're the veterans.
Yeah, they're the veterans, and they're 35. I mean, all the Silicon Valley, fuckwits, they're all like 23, 24, 25 years old.
Well, yeah, you get the people starting the companies, and they're in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, and whatnot, and they hire a bunch of young bloods to work overtime to get the product out the door, and then they sell the business to something else, and then they start a new one.
Yeah. So I wouldn't worry too much.
Okay.
I wouldn't worry too much. All right, next news item.
Okay. Have y'all heard of Brutal Doom?
I have heard of Brutal Doom. You know what I hate about Brutal Doom is I want to play Brutal Doom, but I am not downloading 8 different folders and packs and all this shit, and then a mod thing and all that crap to play Brutal Doom. So when they give me an EXE, I'll play Brutal Doom.
Actually, no. It's a lot more simple than you think.
Is it?
All you really have to do is download the mod and then drag and drop it where the WAD files are for Doom.
Yeah,
and evidently it does the rest.
I don't know.
You lost me a drag and drop.
I tried to play it, and there was like 3 different things I needed, and I needed something else, and I was like, fuck this.
Really?
Give me an EXE, and I'll play it. But anyway.
Well, they've announced version 20 of the mod.
Oh, good.
In addition to adding new particle effects, they're adding ragdoll physics to the game.
How do you add ragdoll to 2D sprites?
They're all 2D. I'm looking at a video of Brutal Doom. They're 2D sprites.
How do you do that?
And I'm going to link a video in chat that you can watch that demonstrates the ragdoll physics. Now it's going to be they add a whole new animation for it. So basically, it's only going to work with melee attacks and the shotgun for now.
So it's not
they're
really
going to be updating that in version 21.
It's not really ragdoll. They just sort of roll. It's like roll around sprite animations. And stuff.
Yeah, but it's.
It looks like it. It's cool. They don't just like fall down into it.
It's not physics. It's just a different set of animations.
Right. But they're futzing it, which is kind of cool. It looks good. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's a little more. I mean, it's a nice touch. Mm-hmm. But you don't get there's no physics in there.
Yeah,
it's a misnomer to call it anything related to physics. It's just more sprites.
They just call it roll doll, like they should call it ragdoll animations.
Yeah, that'd probably be more apt.
It's kind of cool. I like what they're doing. Just because, God's sakes, just give me an EXE so I can play it. I don't want it. I don't need to be putting folders. I have too much to do. I can't be putting folders and other folders and downloading WADs and specs and jingles and doing everything. No, just give me a fucking EXE and let me play it.
Well, they could do that, but that'd also be illegal.
But, right, because it's a modification off of. Yeah, you need to have the Doom assets.
I guess. I don't know.
So you need to go a few steps further for this to work.
Bob, can you make me an EXE and just give it to me?
Probably.
You probably could.
I'll give you. I'll give it to you. I'm gonna mail it to you. On 3 1/4-inch floppy disk.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Good luck fucking finding a drive.
I gotta find a drive. I have to solder it into my motherboard.
And it's probably going to be 15 of them, too.
It's all right. I remember Wolfenstein 3D was 4 or 5.
I remember installing fucking Wing Commander. Oh, no, I remember installing Windows 95 on 3 1/4-inch floppies. There was a good 19 of them. It was bad.
Comes in a giant box.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like a shoe box.
Yeah,
it's full of them.
Oh, those are the days.
Oh, that was so awesome.
Well, speaking of, I was going to say this for last, but speaking of, so y'all have heard of the Retron series from Hyperkin, right?
No.
Okay, the Retron it's a series of these third-party cartridge playing systems from Hyperkin, and basically they're these mini systems that cost around $100 each that play Nintendo, Famicom, Super Nintendos,
Oh yeah,
Sega
yeah,
Genesis,
yeah.
whatever.
I know what you're talking about. They have multiple ports and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for the past year and a half, they've been talking about the Retron 5. And it's a 5-port system that'll play Famicom, Nintendo, Super Famicom, Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games.
Jesus Christ.
I know, all in one system.
Right.
In addition, it outputs at 720p HD, HDMI.
Really?
It's got
HDMI?
save states, it's got everything you
shit.
can possibly imagine.
Oh man. So you say Famicom? Can I just put regular NES cartridges in it, or does it have to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll take everything.
Okay. Because when you say Famicom, I'm thinking Japanese releases, so I wasn't sure if it was.
It's universal. It'll play both types of cartridges.
See, you know what gets me? What makes me excited? Like the singular thing that makes me excited is the HDMI output.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. It's looking pretty fucking good.
And how much does something like this run you?
It's going to cost anywhere between 100 and 130.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, and again, it's going to be HDMI out. It's going to have a bunch of different firmware updates that are really. They're trying to push 100% cartridge compatibility, and they say they pretty much succeeded.
Nice.
So that's a lot of fucking games they got to test. But we got 2 interesting bits of news. Well, actually 3 pieces. So the Retron 5, it's been delayed all to hell. It's been delayed since like last November up until now. But they say it's going to be on store shelves in the next 30 days.
Oh, wow. That's fast.
Yeah.
So they're saying,
finally it's happening.
They're saying in chat that it actually uses emulators, but it uses the actual cards as the ROMs is pretty much what it is.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It has to load the game into the system.
Yeah, you put the card in, it downloads the info, then emulates it. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. So they announced the release date. They also announced the Retron X86. And this might get retro gamers, blood pumping because this is a Linux-based system designed to play classic MS-DOS games.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And according to the rep from Hyperkin, it can play anything made between 1984 and 1999.
Ooh.
Evidently, the highest graphically demanding game they tested was Quake 3 Arena, and they got that running between 40 and 60 frames constantly.
So the problem with this is so you have to find the discs for these things, the physical discs. If you have the physical discs of these games, you can play them.
See, no, I don't think you have to use the discs. I think it's going to work with it's going to have 512 gigs of RAM. It's going to have an SD card slot, Wi-Fi, 2 USB ports. But I think what they're going to be doing, since they're kind of basing off the Commodore 64, I think you just download the game onto an SD card and just plug it into the system.
Will GOG games work?
Yeah, well, God.
They haven't said, but there's really no other way they could do it, so I would have to assume so.
I would hope so.
I have a bunch of CDs that are back from the 90s and 80s.
Do you?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm just saying, HDMI, 1080p output. Again, the keyboard is based on the Commodore 64 design, Bluetooth.
I want to play
really $100.
I want to play Martian Memorandum in my living room on my giant TV.
Fuck it, motherfucking TIE Fighter.
TIE Fighter.
Shit. I want to play fucking Dark Forces on this shit.
Oh, yeah, and you'll be able to do it.
Or just go through the LucasArts library. Like Loom, Full Throttle. Like, there's a bunch of really fucking good games from that generation.
Police Quest?
Mm-hmm.
Police
Quests? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, like that's where I started really becoming a big gamer. Was that during that era? Like, I don't know. Not many people remember this game. It was called The Dig. It was a LucasArts game based on a book, I believe. It was a sci-fi story based on aliens sending a probe to Earth in the form of an asteroid. It's an amazing game. One of the better LucasArts point-and-click adventure games.
And one of the really interesting things about it is that just because it's a gaming system made to play MS-DOS games doesn't mean it can't be a computer. It's basically designed to be a casual Linux system for beginners. So you can learn how to play around with Linux and on this little $99 machine.
Interesting.
Well, they probably could do what distro are they using? Debian?
I don't know. I don't remember. I'd have to look at the video again.
Let me look it up. What is it? What's the device called?
Retron X86. RETRON.
Retron. Which distribution?
And the last thing they announced, which it's not really an announcement, it's like a look for it at E3. They say they're going to be doing something with Nintendo 64 cartridges.
Oh. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be cool.
Because the trademark or the patent or whatever it is, it's about to expire for the 64.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like they may be putting out a system in the next 12 months that'll allow you to play Nintendo 64 games.
Nice.
Fuck yes.
I can't wait to play Superman 64 in my living room. And
fucking Blast Core.
And then Castlevania 64. All the great 64 games.
So many 64.
There were a lot of shitty 64 games.
Yeah, there were.
A lot.
There were, yeah. But then there were some really amazing games. Like, again, Blast Core, Body Harvest is an incredible game.
I don't remember Body Harvest.
Body Harvest was made by the same team that eventually became Rockstar North.
Oh, okay.
The design of Body Harvest is the prototype for Grand Theft Auto 3.
Interesting.
See, I know it by a different name. It was Body Harvest 64.
Yeah, that was an early prototype name.
He's joking.
No. It was called Body Harvest 64.
Oh, was it?
Really, was it?
That really was 64.
Yeah. Early on in the development.
All right. It's 10 o'clock. Is there one more news item or are we done?
We're pretty much done, yeah.
Right.
Unless you... Actually, I'm going to throw this out there real quick.
Real fast.
Our good old friend Will Brierley.
Yes.
Yeah.
He announced that Soda Drinker Pro is going next gen.
To the Xbox One.
To the Xbox One.
What is amazing about this is that it's actually going to be Kinect. It's going to use the Kinect. Yes.
That's amazing.
It's going to use the Kinect.
That could be incredible.
So you lift your hand up to your mouth to drink the soda?
To drink the soda, I think. That's what it's going to be. You put your arm up to your head, and that's how you drink the soda.
That's too real. That's too real.
I don't think I can handle it. I think he needs Oculus Rift support.
No, that's how civilization ends.
That's how it ends. I might die of dehydration because it'll be so real, the soda drinking experience, that I'll cease drinking all liquids in real life. You know, that's what's going to turn... We were talking about Microsoft and what they need to do to turn it around for themselves. That's what's going to turn it around. Soda Drinker Pro on the Xbox One with Kinect support. That's it. I mean, I think we can actually, at this point, declare the console wars won by Microsoft because there's nothing that Sony can do.
This is the equivalent of the atomic bomb.
This is sort of like Hiroshima dropped on Sony headquarters. It sort of works, kind of. You know, once again, the Americans. Oh, you Americans and your feisty atomic bombage,
and your high fructose corn syrup beverages,
which is actually what the atomic bomb is made of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a reason why it was called the one they tested at Trinity was called Fat Boy.
That's right. Exactly. That's true. It's not just a coincidence. Not just a coincidence. All right, let us do our final thoughts of the evening. Want to thank everyone for coming out and watching us here tonight at 4pp.tv. And these are our final thoughts, our Coffee Time Chasers. I don't know what mine is. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm drawing a complete blank of what my final thoughts could be. My final thought is I do want to play more like some Payday, this new Payday stuff. So I might just put that in my PC this week because I did enjoy the first Payday 1, and I watched you play a little bit of it, Chris Davis, and it looks like fun. It's kind of like a smart shooter sort of thing, if I can put it that way. So
it's a smart shooter with RPG elements.
Yeah, and I know everything is better with RPG elements. So I think this week my final thought is I'm going to finally boot that motherfucker up. Chris.
My final thought is that you guys missed out on a prime opportunity to back a major Kickstarter project this past. Shamed. It's called Bear Simulator, and
I don't think
it's a mini Skyrim where you play as a bear.
I don't think I can take the simulators anymore. I think I'm getting simulated out.
Well, I think a simulator.
A simulator. That's a good idea.
You could do that, yeah.
Good idea.
You have a point where you actually put an Oculus Rift in the game, and it's an Oculus Rift game.
Right.
Oh shit! Mind blown.
It's a simulator of a simulator.
Just as long as it runs at 60 frames a second.
You know, when you think about it, man, life is sort of like a simulator.
Now I want a game jam that where we just have like you sit at a computer, you put on Oculus Rift, you're just sitting at a computer, and you pick up an Oculus Rift and you put it on, and then you're just sitting at a computer.
And there's
you
an Oculus Rift.
You put up an Oculus, you put it on, you're sitting at a computer.
I want to make
as much as you want.
I want to make that game. I want to make that game.
Let's do it.
What's the guy, the artist who does the stairs that don't go anywhere? What's his name?
MC Escher?
Yeah, we got MC Escher Simulator.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, Bob, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is that PAX East was awesome. Love seeing people play the game. I'm looking more forward to it, and specifically our new game that we're planning on is going to be Blow Your Mind if we ever make it.
Oh, we shouldn't even talk about it yet.
No,
it's like 5 years down the road.
Yeah,
if it happens.
Yeah,
but we were blowing each other's minds. Literally blowing each other.
Yeah, we were just blowing each other
in hip
all
chat.
Afternoon.
In hip chat today.
Just blowing each other.
Just blowing. There was so much blowing going on. You can't even stand it.
That's what happens during the Monday night Tetropolis meetings, isn't it?
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Partly it. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out to Cocktail Time Live here at 4playernetwork.com. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Chris. And thank you for watching us at home over on 4playernetwork.com. We will see you next week. Definitely check out our main website, like I said, 4playernetwork.com, and stick around because I think Brad will probably be playing something after this. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Happy Easter.